All right, so today we're going to deep dive into something pretty interesting, I think. Prescribing glasses for kids. Especially like the really little ones.
Yeah.
You know, the ones who are still like figuring out how to walk.
Yeah.
You sent me over some notes and excerpts
Right.
from a professional text about this. And
Yeah.
wow, even I was surprised by some of the stuff in there.
You and everyone else.
Really?
Yeah. Most people just assume that
Yeah.
babies are born seeing like perfectly,
Right. 2020 right out of the gate.
Yeah. But vision in those early years is way more dynamic than we really. It's really not just about
Got it.
clear sight.
Yeah.
It's about how their whole
Right.
visual system develops,
Yeah.
which impacts motor skills and
Wow.
spatial awareness.
Okay. So first, myth busted.
Yeah.
Babies aren't seeing 20/20.
Nope.
Right out of the gate.
Not even close.
What's the deal there?
Well, their vision is definitely blurry, but there's a method to the madness.
Okay.
Think about it. Their world is pretty much arm's length
Yeah.
for those first few months.
Right.
Turns out newborns actually have slight nearsightedness,
Interesting.
usually around negative 0.75 diopters.
So they're actually like better equipped for that.
Exactly.
Close-up view of mom and dad.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's pretty clever of nature.
Yeah, that's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to get a truly accurate measurement,
Yeah.
eye doctors use special drops called cycloplegia,
Okay.
which temporarily relax the focusing muscles
Wow.
in the eye.
Okay.
With those drops, infants actually measure slightly farsighted,
Oh, what's that?
around plus 2.00 diopters.
Changes.
But the key here
Yeah.
is that these are just averages.
Right.
What really matters is how much a child's vision
Okay.
deviates from what's typical for their age.
So a tiny bit of nearsightedness or farsightedness
Right.
in a baby is no big deal.
Yeah, you don't really have to.
But when do we start to worry?
That's where it gets tricky.
Okay.
The text really hammered home the point that we're not
Yeah.
just looking at numbers on a chart.
Right.
We're looking for significant refractive errors
Got it.
that could impact a child's development.
Okay.
For example, a minor refraction of -0.25
Okay.
in a toddler probably wouldn't warrant glasses.
Yeah.
But a child with negative 15.00 diopters of myopia,
Oh, wow.
that's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
So it's all about context.
Exactly.
The child's age, the degree of refractive error, and how it's affecting their ability to see and interact with the world.
Exactly.
Makes sense. But there's another layer to this, right?
There is.
Something about the eye's natural
We're
development.
talking about emmetropization,
Emmetropization.
which is like the eye's own autocorrect
Interesting.
feature,
Yeah.
guiding it towards normal vision as a child grows.
Wow.
It's most active in the first 18 months of life.
So a baby's vision is literally changing shape as they grow. Hold on, does that mean their prescription could be different
Absolutely.
every few months during that time?
Yep. Wow. Emmetropization throws a real wrench in the works
Yeah.
when it comes to prescribing glasses for babies.
I can only imagine.
Take a 6-month-old with a whopping
Okay.
12.00 diopters of myopia, for example.
Wow. That's severe.
Yeah, it's severe.
The little one would definitely need some help seeing.
Absolutely. But there are different approaches.
Okay.
Since their world is still mostly arm's length,
Yeah.
one option is to undercorrect with glasses,
Okay.
giving them clear vision at that distance
Got it.
while their eyes continue to develop.
Ah, I see. So we're meeting their immediate needs
Exactly.
while acknowledging that their vision is
It's a moving target.
a moving target.
You got it.
Okay.
Another option, though, not covered in the text you shared,
Yeah.
is pediatric contact lenses.
Oh, wow.
But no matter the approach,
Yeah.
the key is understanding that a baby's
Right.
visual needs evolve rapidly.
Okay.
And what's appropriate at 6 months
Right.
could be totally different
Got it.
by the time they're a year old and toddling
Okay.
around.
So we've got nearsightedness, farsightedness, and this
Right.
emmetropization thing to consider.
Uh-huh.
What about astigmatism?
Astigmatism, yeah.
The text mentioned it's pretty common,
It is in infants.
and just like the other refractive errors,
Okay.
it often improves
Yeah.
as a child grows.
Okay.
The interesting thing here is that the text emphasized
Okay.
that a specific type of lazy eye
Yeah.
caused by astigmatism called meridional amblyopia
Okay.
is unlikely to develop before the age of 2.
So no need to rush into glasses for astigmatism in babies?
Generally, no.
We could just wait and see.
You can usually wait and see.
If it improves on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But there are always exceptions.
Right, of course.
If an infant has significant astigmatism, say made of 4.000 diopters.
And it remains stable over several checkups, even at 9 months old.
Okay.
Intervention might be necessary.
So we're not just looking at age.
Right.
We're looking at the severity and stability of the astigmatism to guide our decisions.
It's like solving a puzzle.
Yeah.
Looking at all the pieces to figure out the best course of action.
For each individual child.
Exactly.
This makes me think back to that word.
Yeah.
The text kept emphasizing
stability.
Stability, yeah.
It seems like that's the key.
It is.
To the whole puzzle.
Right?
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
We're not just dealing with like static eyeballs.
Right.
We're dealing with a dynamic developing visual system that's constantly changing.
Makes sense.
Especially in those first few years.
Right.
And immetricalization just adds another layer of complexity.
Wow.
That's why close monitoring and regular checkups are crucial. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground understanding how prescriptions for little eyes are different. Okay. But I'm curious, let's say we've figured out the prescription.
Mm-hmm.
How do we actually get those tiny humans to wear their glasses?
That's a great question.
That brings us to the next part of your research notes, right?
Yes.
Choosing the right frames.
Yeah. You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
Frame selection is often seen as an afterthought.
Right.
But it can really, like, make or break the whole experience.
Oh, sure.
The text emphasized that poorly fitting frames can not only be uncomfortable, but can actually interfere with the glasses' ability to correct vision properly.
That makes sense if the glasses are constantly sliding down their nose.
Exactly.
They're not going to see much.
Nope.
I have to admit, I remember those days of limited options for kids' glasses.
Yeah.
Mostly just functional, not fashionable.
Totally.
Has that changed much?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Thankfully, pediatric frames have come a long way.
That's great.
There's a huge variety of styles, colors, and materials.
Great.
Specifically designed for kids' faces.
Okay.
Remember we talked about how babies' facial features are different from adults?
Yeah.
Well, that holds true for older kids, too.
Okay.
Their noses are smaller, their brow bones are less pronounced.
That's interesting.
And their heads are proportionally larger.
So trying to adjust an adult frame to fit a child's face is a no-go.
Exactly.
Even if you find a super tiny one.
It just won't sit right.
Got it.
And you're likely to end up with glasses that are constantly slipping.
Right.
Pinching or causing discomfort.
Yeah.
Plus, they just won't look as good.
Right. They're not going to be as cute.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're looking for frames specifically designed for kids.
Yes.
But how do you involve the child in the process?
That's a great question.
I mean, they're the ones who have to wear them, right?
You've hit on a crucial point.
Yeah.
This isn't just about finding a frame that fits their face.
Right.
It's about finding a frame they'll actually want to wear.
Right. Exactly.
The text highlighted a study where children who were allowed to choose their own frames were significantly more likely to wear their glasses consistently.
That makes so much sense.
It does.
It's like anything else. If you feel good in something, you're more likely to wear it.
Exactly.
But how do you guide a child, especially like a younger one, through that selection process?
It's all about making it fun and engaging.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, pick one.
Yeah.
Let them try on lots of different styles.
Got it.
You could play a game of glasses fashion show.
I love that.
Have them rate each frame on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, that's fun.
Or even come up with silly names for the different styles.
I love that. It takes the pressure off and lets them explore their own preferences.
Exactly.
And I bet it makes the whole experience less intimidating.
Less scary.
Especially for kids who might be nervous or unsure about wearing glasses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, the optician is a valuable resource in this process, too.
Yeah.
They can help narrow down the options based on the child's prescription, face shape, and lifestyle.
Okay, so we've talked about fit, style, and involving the child in the selection process. What else should parents keep in mind?
Yeah, the text mentioned a few practical considerations.
Okay.
First, durability is key.
Makes sense.
Especially for younger kids.
Yeah.
Look for frames made from flexible materials that can withstand a bit of roughhousing.
That makes sense. Kids are not always known for their gentle handling of things.
Exactly.
What about materials?
Yeah.
Are there any that are better than others for kids?
The text specifically recommended hypoallergenic materials.
Okay.
Especially for kids with sensitive skin.
Right.
You also want to consider the weight of the frames. Layered materials will be more comfortable for all-day wear.
Great points.
Yeah.
So to recap, we're looking for pediatric frames that are durable, hypoallergenic, lightweight.
Yes.
And most importantly, something the child loves.
You got it.
Perfect.
And here's something else to consider.
Okay.
That the text really highlighted.
Okay.
Think beyond just the initial purchase.
Okay.
Kids grow quickly, so you'll likely need to replace their frames every year or two.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
So factor that into the budget conversation, folks.
Exactly. And be prepared for adjustments as well.
Okay.
Kids are active, so their glasses might get bent or misaligned.
Right.
Most opticians offer free adjustments.
Oh, that's good to know.
So don't hesitate to bring them in if needed.
Great advice. So finding the right glasses is about more than just the prescription. It's about the whole package fit style, durability, and ongoing care.
Exactly.
But now that we've covered the technical stuff, I'm curious to explore the human side of things a bit more.
Sure.
How do we help kids adjust to wearing glasses?
Yeah.
Both emotionally and practically?
That's a great question.
That feels like a whole other deep dive.
It is.
You know, as we've been talking about all this, from prescriptions to picking frames, it's easy to forget we're talking about real kids.
It is.
Not just eyeballs.
That's so true.
Right.
The text actually brought up something that really resonated with me.
Yeah.
The experience of wearing glasses goes way beyond just seeing better.
Right.
It affects a child's self-esteem, confidence.
Wow.
How they interact with the world.
It makes you realize how much we communicate with our eyes.
We do.
And for a kid who's suddenly sporting these new frames, it can feel like everyone's staring.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's why it's so important to involve them in the whole process right from the start.
Right.
The text talked about how crucial it is
Yeah.
for the eye doctor to speak directly to the child.
Right.
Not just over their head.
Right.
To the parent.
Yeah.
Explaining things in a way they can understand.
It's like with any medical procedure, right?
It is.
When you feel informed, you feel more in control.
Absolutely. And for kids, it's especially important to understand why they're getting glasses.
Yeah.
Sometimes with focusing issues, for example.
Yeah. Okay.
Their vision might not seem noticeably different.
Right.
With the correction.
I can imagine that being frustrating for a kid.
It can be.
Like, I can see just fine without these things. Why do I have to wear them?
The text gave a great example of this with kids who get plus lenses for near work.
Okay.
They put them on, look around and say, see, it looks the same.
Yeah.
But it's about more than just clarity at a single moment.
Right. It's about reducing eye strain.
Exactly.
Making it easier to focus for longer periods, especially for things like reading or homework.
Exactly. And sometimes those benefits aren't immediately obvious. To a child.
Yeah.
So open communication is key.
Communication is key. Yeah. What about the emotional side of things?
The emotional side, yeah.
The text also touched on how some kids, especially those who are self-conscious, might resist wearing glasses.
Oh, absolutely. It could be a tough adjustment.
Yeah.
For some kids.
I can imagine.
They might worry about being teased or feeling different from their friends.
That breaks my heart. Yeah. It reminds me of how much emphasis we put on appearance.
We do.
Even from such a young age.
It's a societal issue, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
But parents and educators can play a huge role in creating a more positive and accepting environment.
Right.
Talking openly about glasses, highlighting the benefits.
Yeah.
Maybe even sharing personal stories.
Yeah.
Can go a long way.
Right. It's about normalizing glasses.
Exactly.
Showing that they're not something to be ashamed of, but rather a tool that helps you see better and live a fuller life.
Yeah.
And I bet having cool frames they picked out themselves helps a lot too.
You know, the text had this really touching anecdote about a little girl who kept losing her glasses.
Oh, no.
Like clockwork.
Wow.
Turns out she hated the frames her parents had chosen.
Oh, no.
Once she was allowed to pick a pair she loved,
the
problem magically disappeared.
It just shows you sometimes the simplest solution is the most effective. And it's not about giving in to every whim.
Right.
It's about respecting that child's individuality and giving them a sense of ownership.
Couldn't agree more.
Right.
And there's so many resources out there now.
That's great.
To help families navigate this whole process.
Awesome.
Opticians are trained to work with kids to make it fun and engaging.
Yeah.
And there are even books and videos designed to explain the importance of glasses to children in a way that's relatable.
I remember reading Arthur's Eyes to my niece when she first got glasses.
It's a classic.
It's such a sweet story about overcoming those initial fears.
Yeah.
And realizing how much better life can be with clear vision.
It's a classic for a reason.
Yeah.
And it speaks to a larger truth.
Yeah.
Glasses aren't a burden.
Right.
They're a gift.
They are.
They open up a world of possibilities.
So for everyone listening, whether you're a parent educator or just someone who cares about a child who wears glasses, remember, a little understanding, encouragement, and a good dose of fun go a long way.
And don't forget that the eye doctor is your partner in this journey.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or concerns you have.
Yeah, they're there to help.
It's a team effort working together to make sure those young eyes are healthy.
Yeah.
And seeing the world in all its brilliance.
Well said. That about wraps up our deep dive into the world of prescribing glasses for children.
It was a good one.
I hope you found this insightful and maybe even learned a thing or two yourself.
Me too.
Remember, it's not just about the prescription, it's about the whole child.
The whole child.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we've covered a lot.